It is Wednesday. Let's catch up with the head coach of the Abbotsford Heat, Troy G. Ward. We're at the Honda Way. We're going to jump in the back of a car and go for a spin because the Heat are about to hit the road. We're with the head coach of the Abbotsford Heat, Troy G. Ward, in the back of a 2012 Honda Pilot EXL. Comfortable, but it's about to get less comfortable for your hockey club. We're heading on the road. How are you, Coach?
I'm good. Yourself?
Very well. Now, Cleveland is where it all started last year. 4 at home to start this year. Now you're out on the road. Different dynamic at play. What changes from your perspective?
Well, just the fact that it's taken us a little longer to get on the road and get used to each other. I thought last year, right away we got out to Cleveland early. It was the first weekend. We got some games under our belt on the road, and I thought our team came together really well. It's a little more difficult to come together when you're at home, although our home record over the first 4 would indicate we have come together, but that's probably because we were coming out of 2 weeks of camp.
Is it overrated, this whole concept of when teams go on the road, guys bond, or can bonding be done elsewhere, or is it really something different when you do get on the road and remove them from maybe their family spheres or whatever else they have going?
Well, I think it's true. I think you definitely have a chance to bond a little quicker on the road. There's less distractions. It's just players. It's not so much sharing family time and things like that. But, interestingly enough, that question is we have an older team this year than we had a year ago. So I found us to be coming together as quickly as we would have probably if we would have went on the road. I like our veterans. I like our conversations in the locker room. I like how the guys intermix with each other, and we kind of have a maturity level to us, which indicates that we'd come together pretty quick.
Great home record out of the gates this year. That was something that you struggled to find traction at home, especially in the first 2/3 of the season last year. Can you put your finger on it, or is it one of those things?
No, I think going back to the first couple questions, we just we got through about 10 days at home in training camp. We felt very good in our rink. I liked our focus. We've kind of maintained our focus. We haven't got on the road and mixed anything up. We've been real simple about how we've approached our game and what we're doing. And I thought that's allowed us to get off to a good start. The other part of it that, I think benefited everybody was the fact that we played in front of big crowds this last weekend, and certainly that energizes hockey players.
We called it a 60-60 crowd in the broadcast booth, a swing vote, much like an election that we're going to see south of the border here coming up. Did you find that there was loud cheers for both sides? Could you, if someone asked you what the makeup was, would you call it half and half, or did it change?
Well, I thought two different games, 2 different reactions. I thought for sure on Friday you could tell that there was a good contingent of Vancouver fans there, and rightfully so. I felt it like Friday night when they won the shootout, like there was a good group. But I would say at the same time, with all our Heat fans that are local, that are passionate people, I thought they gave us everything they had, and I thought we felt like the home team on Saturday night just by the crowd reaction. So we're very lucky and appreciative of our fans.
The road was an area of great strength last season. Is repeating it as simple as pretending it was last year, or did you make any sense of why that happened last year?
Well, I thought it made sense the way it happened just because we got out so much early, and I thought that made us a better team down the stretch. I think we went through that tough stretch in February and a little bit early in March only because it's inevitable you go through those, but what I thought allowed us to recover from that was all the time we had on the road and how close our team actually got last year. This year it's been a different start to it. We won't be 10-13 at home, so we could say the same thing's going to happen this year, but our road game might take a little bit longer to get going. Certainly our home record, last year took some time to unravel itself in the second half. We struggled in the first half at home. So, you don't know how it'll be. A different group of guys, they'll handle it a little differently, I'm sure. And like I said before, like good maturity to our room.
It's a 3-3 starting with Friday, Saturday in Cleveland, then Sunday in Hamilton, and there is an arduous bus journey from Cleveland along the shores of Lake Erie, arriving in Hamilton at like 4 or 5 in the morning. What do you do with your lineup in 3-3s, and do you like it because you can rotate bodies, or is it never fun to have to put some of those guys through those rigors?
Well, I think this certainly gives us a chance to rotate some people in there. Obviously, we have 6 veterans, and we got to get some guys in the lineup and try and keep everybody's game going. We've got 3 goaltenders. There's all kinds of different scenarios that are going to come up on this trip that we can play ourselves through. So I'm really looking forward to that. As far as the long trip, this is what makes the American League so great. Like, you got to pay your dues down here to eventually ride on a charter or fly on a charter, and riding ice buses and playing in front of big crowds, and this is part of the process. Like, you got to play down here and go through this. So I think everybody from a coach to a player understands that, and I think we all look forward to, in some odd way, we look forward to that trip through the night to get ourselves in a position where, you know, we get into Hamilton early in the morning and then got to play at 5 o'clock. It's a little bit about our internal strength to what we are and who we want to become.
The Canucks always talk about their big travel. The Heat would have much more travel. And then you look down a level, you coached the Victoria Salmon Kings for a while. How does the Heat travel schedule compare to Victoria's, where you had ferries involved as well?
Well, I think actually some of the guys were complaining one day here the other day about how hard the travel could be, and I was like, you have no idea. I did bring up the Victoria thing, and getting on a little bus and then a ferry, then a big bus, and then an airplane, then another bus, and, you know, basically just, if I would have gotten a golf cart, everything would have been perfect on some of those trips to LA. So, but we found a way to make everything possible on those trips out of Victoria. But again, that was part of the process. We were one step below this, and we understood that if we wanted to go to the American League when we were there, we had to go through this part of it. And you know, I guess life was right. I had to go through that as a coach, and that helped me get a chance to be here. And now I got to go through this process here to hopefully get another chance someday.
Good luck in the 3-3 coming up. Thanks for your time as always.
Thank you.
It's been Wednesdays with Ward, episode 7, The Heat Hit the Road.